Okay, this is, I guess you would consider part two of the video tour of the garden. This is the front porch looking out to the front courtyard. I talked a little bit about this when we were on live with Catherine, and then I think I got cut out. But this is Purple Heart. I love to grow this because this is what I call a pass-along plant. You can cut it off, root it. This is the Purple Heart. I think this is the Fuzzy Purple Heart or Wandering. It's a type of succulent. I have a couple of different other varieties also. But I love it because it's just so versatile. This is a little bit of the sedum that I was talking about that I have in my front pot. I couldn't remember the name of it at first, but it is this right here, and I love this. It's a type of sedum. This was actually just a tiny root of it that was left in a pot from last winter, last year ago. I mean, I've had this forever. Stuck it in this soil, and you can see it's got a flush of the pink blooms on it, and I love the foliage too. I would love to have a lot more of that. I don't remember where I bought it, but I'd love to have more. I just don't see that very often. In these big antique pots, urns or garden pots that I bought with my mom at an estate sale in Hattiesburg. I just love those pots. Sometimes I put the tree form hibiscus in here, but you know, these pots are so heavy and I can't move them. So those tree form hibiscus usually die back. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. So this year I planted the sweet olive in these pots, and then I'm just going to keep the different annuals around the sweet olive, and hopefully these sweet olives will live a good long life in those pots and I won't have to keep changing them out. In these other old pots here, I just have boxwood. I love these these concrete doggies. I got those in Columbia at my friend Tracy's nursery called Barrett's Garden Center, and I just love those doggies. I have a lot of garden ornaments around here. I try not to make it too junky, but a lot of it are some of my favorite things, and so I just stick them in nooks and crannies of the garden. In this pot, I just sprinkled some zinnia seeds in, and they look like they're going to be blooming soon. Also looks like something's starting to eat it, so I'm going to have to tend to that before long. Banana tree. I always keep ferns up here. This is my window box, and I just put a variety of annuals in there. Spring, summer annuals, and then put some different ones in the fall. These are banana trees which multiply. I've got several growing in there that I would love to actually dig one of those out to put on my side courtyard. Here's another planter. Got some more of that. This Wandering Purple Heart in it, that I just get roots of it and plant it in the dirt, and it grows really well. We planted all of this fig vine. The saying for fig vine when you plant it didn't take much. Like, we literally planted one small pot right there in that bed, and it has covered this whole wall and then gone around and covered here. I think we might have planted one little 4-inch pot in this bed where we have the citrus tree and the boxwood. But they say with the fig vine that the first year it sleeps, the second year it creeps, and the third year it leaps. And it does leap. Steve has to keep that trimmed so it doesn't, you can see how it will start to grow into your onto your roof if you don't watch it. Let's see. We also have some more old antique pots that I just fill with annuals up here on the wall. Got hydrangeas in here, camellias, and some gardenias. Gardenias, camellias, and hydrangeas in here. And then the roses, which I already talked about in the other video. And then this front bed has different, I have a mixture of the shrub roses, the climbing roses, the drift roses. I love any of the antique roses, and some of them are not doing so well. I've got to get the spray to those. This huge blue urn is one of my favorite things. I got that at Holly Gardens years ago when Holly Gardens used to be open on West 4th Street. And I looked at that pot forever and bought it, gosh, I don't know, it's more than that, maybe 20 years ago. When Holly Gardens had their going out of business sale. And we kept it as a planter for years, and then we attempted